So I'm retouching Hypocrisy of Righteousness, and this is one of the images from that shoot. Let's get right into it. This is a time lapse. I'm going to talk about each of the things that I'm doing here. So first off, I'm cloning in a hand, because I like the face from one shot and I like the hand from another. And I do this kind of often in my photography, and here I am doing the hair because it was kind of covering the face in an awkward way and I wanted to fall in a perfect. So there it is, and I'm gonna, I'm doing the retouching in Photoshop, so I wanted to just give it a quick crop so I don't have to look at the other stuff. But this is kind of an overall crop. It's not too accurate. And then I just want to do a little bit of adjustment, tweaking. I want to elongate her neck, narrow her face, open up her eyes a little bit. So those are kind of the simple things that I do. I'm going to jump right into frequency separation. First working on the tones and the lower layers so that everything kind of smooths out without destroying the texture. If you don't know about frequency separation, it's one of the most powerful tools a beauty photographer can utilize. So there's plenty of resources out there for how to do it. So go ahead and look that up on YouTube and educate yourself. Let's see what else is going on here. So I'm going to be doing that for a little while. All I'm doing is finding areas where there's a bit of splotchiness in the tone. And now I'm going to switch to my high frequency layer and I'm going to work on blemishes. And the reason we do that is so that we don't destroy the underlying tone and we only work on kind of the high contrast detail, like little hairs or little blemishes and such. You can see I'm just getting rid of stray hairs. This shoot we shot with the Canon 5D SR. It's a 50 megapixel camera, and as you can see, we were able to see a lot of detail. If you're ever considering upgrading your camera, just know that you have to upgrade your computer, your hard drives, your processor speed, everything, because just that little bump in megapixels makes a huge difference. It slows down your computer quite a bit, and especially if you're editing on 4K monitors, make sure you have a fast enough video card to support it. Okay, so here we go. I'm just finishing that up. Because it's a beauty shoot, I always kind of think of a beauty shoot as a little bit fantasy, so I don't mind it looking a little plasticky, but I do want it to look, how do you say, it's like real but plastic. So it's perfectly glossed over. Every little detail is worked on, but I want to maintain every single pore and every single wrinkle on the skin. Although I'm getting rid of certain wrinkles to beautify the whole thing, this level of photography, you really get into, it's like digital painting, and it's fantasy, it's not real. So and I want to kind of push that distinction a little bit because I want it to look not real. I want the audience to get the sense that they're looking at something kind of plastic and not real, as to not create a confusion of ideal beauty or whatever. Here I was trying to figure out if I can darken the eyebrows. Sometimes I play around, I'll do something and I'll get rid of it just to see if it's working for me or not. Okay, and I'm just replacing a little bit of pomegranate there to make it look more pomegranate-y. Get rid of the white. And then also one thing that I wanted to do was the nail color was, I had told my manicurist which color to use, but in the end the makeup didn't really match the nail color, so I had to go in and change the nail color. I don't suggest you, just so you know, it's easy to go from light to dark, but harder to go from dark to light. And I had a little bit of trouble trying to do that. And what I ended up doing was mostly just painting in the nail, doing kind of actual digital painting. I would suggest any of you to go and take some kind of digital painting course. It'll really help you learn how to use your brushes and learn how to do things with just brushing, just painting in. Okay, so I've sharpened her fangs. I'm doing a lot of like localized changes now. I'm doing a lot of localized contrast, curve, saturation adjustments. I just brightened her eyes. Let's see, what else am I doing here? This is playing at 30 times the speed. I think the video is 13 minutes, so times, I don't know, times 30. You can figure out how long it took me. But it's
390 minutes.
390 minutes is how many hours?
13 times. What?
Okay. Anyway, let's see here. So I smoothed out her shoulders. Oh, peach fuzz. So here. Okay, so 6.5 hours is how long it took me. Probably longer because it's not the whole thing. But she had a lot of peach fuzz, so I just kind of brushed it into black, got rid of it, getting rid of some of the wrinkles here. This is all kind of general work, and then I'm gonna spend probably half the amount of time, probably like a few hours, on just dodging and burning. So I'm just kind of getting rid of kind of the bigger pieces right now, like anything that I don't like. Okay, so here, this is an Imagenomic Portraiture makes this great plugin, and it's a quick way to do frequency separation without actually doing it. And I use it very sparsely, like I just did it to the hand, and then I only painted in the hand because, you know, the hand isn't going to be the primary focus of the photo, so I don't mind it being a little bit plasticky looking. Alright, so I'm working on the nails, I'm looking for a reference. Here it is. Alright, so now I'm just painting in a highlight. And once I paint it in, I'm just going to copy it and kind of adjust it a little bit for the second nail there. Alright, checking everything. Alright, so dodging and burning. This is the most extensive part of the actual retouching, and it'll hurt your eyes by the end of a few hours, because basically you're looking for minute differences in tonality, or sorry, in luminosity, and that's why I turned it black and white, so I can just focus on if something is too bright or too dark. And I kind of tend to do everything on the same dodge and burn layer. I'll do big dodge and burn and little dodge and burn and medium-sized dodge and burn all in the same layer. Some people like to split it up, but I don't know. Sometimes I get a little lazy. And if I need to, I will split it up to have more control. But really getting in there and looking for minute changes, so you can really have that smooth surface that you're looking for. You know, we're human, our skin's not perfect, we have blemishes, we have freckles, we have micro bruising that happens, we have different pore structures on different parts of your face. Like if you're looking at in the chin or in the crease of the nose or on the forehead or somewhere where they've plucked, I mean, there's all sorts of little minute details that needs to be addressed. So I'll do everything from just the pore level, where I'm just changing the luminosity of a few pixels, to big soft swatches for contouring. So we'll just do that for a second. It's gonna take a little while. So while that's happening, let me tell you a little bit about the concept of the shoot. So I called this Hypocrisy of Righteousness for a reason. It's you know, it's happening in the current events, but also I feel like it's a philosophy that resonates with me. You know, we always start out, I think for most of us anyway, we don't intend to do bad things. We actually all try and live our lives to be good, you know, to whatever capacity we can. But sometimes we get carried away, or like we think we're really right, and it can lead to actually being hypocritical. So that's something that hits close to home for me. So I took this opportunity, because this is a test shoot for my marketing. I wanted to play off of that theme, and that's why I chose, you know, kind of this vegetarian herbivore type thing that's happening where the model's eating fruit, but what the expression that they're showing is almost this gluttonous lust, very carnivorous type scenario. So anyway, wanted to share that with you. So we're gonna be dodging and burning for a while. I use the method of dodging and burning. I use two methods. One is I use the black and white brush. I used a black and white brush on a 50% gray layer that has soft light as the layer blend mode, and I also use this curves method where you set up two curves. One is to brighten and one is to darken, and the bright layer is set to screen mode and the darkening layer is set to multiply mode, and you use a layer mask and you paint white onto the layer mask. You can check my layers and see how that's being done. Any of this stuff you can learn. I mean, there's so many resources online, and hopefully this is just kind of an overview for you so that you can see how somebody does a beauty retouch from beginning to end. But most of these skills, I mean, you can learn for free on YouTube, or you can pay for it through any of the what are some of the places that we learn this stuff from? What's it called? Michael Wallow Zosk. I'll put his name in the link. You can check him out.
He runs like Vibrant Shot Studios. That's like his company.
So Vibrant Shot Studios is his company. We'll put the link down below. Okay, so what's happening? Oh, Retouching. Yeah, we did Retouching Academy, which is also really good. All right. So, still dodging and burning. I told you this is going to take a long time. And now I'm doing general contouring on a gray, using a gray layer that is set to soft light and using a black and white brush to push and pull. Now I am, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, the hands, that's tough because, you know, we want the fingers to look like tubes, and which means it needs to have a highlight and a smooth gradation to the shadow. And that's just not how our hands are built. I mean, our hands are used all the time, and not everybody has perfect hands. And we try to pick a model based on their hands, but really ultimately what it came down to was availability and you know, Isabelle is a beautiful girl, but her hands are long and knuckly. No, it's not a bad thing, it's just it takes more time for me in post-production. Let's see. So now just putting some of the final touches on there, and I often zoom out. Anything I do, I zoom out, take a look, assess, zoom in. So even though we work on very small details, remember to zoom out and don't get carried away. All right, so here's some before and afters. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this little behind the scenes time lapse, and hopefully it's helped you. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and like below, and we'll do more. Until next time, happy shooting.